You know how sometimes the most chaotic moments in life end up creating something truly beautiful? Well, today we're diving into exactly that kind of story. We are looking at the origin of a group known as the Crescent Sisters. It's a tale of how one completely wild, unexpected storm in the middle of a busy festival actually changed 5 lives forever. Let's get right into it.
Picture this. We're in Doha, and the annual Crescent Moon Festival is in full swing. The sky is this gorgeous, glowing orange. You've got these vibrant lanterns strung up everywhere across the winding streets. Kids are laughing, people are chatting, and man, the air is just thick with the warm, rich smell of fresh samosas. It's literally the picture-perfect community celebration.
But right in the middle of all this joy, there's a young girl named Samina, and she is definitely not having a good time. She's standing there at a pack stall, clutching this tiny purse like her life depends on it. Because, well, it kinda does. Inside isn't money for sweets or games. It's the cash she spent weeks saving up to buy essential medicine for her sick grandmother. So you can just imagine the heavy, anxious burden she's carrying in the middle of all this festivity.
And then, almost in the blink of an eye, the entire vibe shifts. Chaos at the festival.
It all escalates so fast. Out of absolutely nowhere, a group of boys comes barreling through the crowd. Crash. They bump hard into Samina. Her worst nightmare happens. She drops the purse and those precious coins scatter everywhere across the dirty street. She drops to her knees in an absolute panic, tears welling up, and people are just walking right past her. Then, literally minutes later, this huge, violent gust of wind rips through the market. Lanterns are swinging everywhere, and a massive festival banner actually collapses. And if that wasn't enough, boom! The dark clouds that have been sneaking in just burst open into a massive, heavy downpour.
Let's rewind just a second, though, back to those spilled coins. Right as Samina is frantically pawing at the ground before her money rolls down a street drain, another pair of hands swoops in. A girl in a pale blue scarf catches a rolling coin at the last possible second. She hands it back with this warm smile and says, "Here, I think this is yours." That's Amina. In a crowd of people completely ignoring the situation, Amina actually stopped to help. But before Samina can even catch her breath to say thank you, that crazy wind hits. That giant festival banner I mentioned, it starts collapsing right toward a little kid. Instantly, a girl wearing a green hijab just launches herself forward. She pulls the kid out of the way, yelling, "Careful!" While everyone else is totally panicking, this girl, her name's Rabia, is cool as a cucumber, just making sure the kid is all right.
Suddenly, festival workers are yelling that a major storm is hit early. Strangers in the storm, searching for shelter.
It is absolute mayhem. The crowd completely scatters. In the rush, Samina, Amina, and our hero Rabia get shoved together, squished under this super narrow shop roof while the rain is just dumping down around them. It's totally claustrophobic, but honestly, in that frantic, soaking wet moment, it becomes a literal safe haven for these 3 total strangers.
So they're shoved under this tiny awning, dripping wet, and Rabia just lets out this sigh, grins, and goes, "Well, I guess Allah wanted us all to meet today." Amina lets out a soft laugh at that. And for Samina, after all that terror over the medicine money, that infectious optimism actually brings the very first real smile to her face all night.
But hey, the storm is not quite done playing matchmaker. Right as they're smiling, they spot another girl standing totally alone near the street, which is flooding fast, by the way. She looks absolutely crushed, clutching a stack of totally ruined, soaked papers to her chest. She's whispering that the rain just destroyed all her Quran competition notes. Her name is Hadia. Without hesitating, Amina grabs Hadia's arm and gently pulls her into their little dry spot. She tells her, "You can rewrite them. Paper can be replaced." And then Rabia drops some serious wisdom for a moment like this, adding, "But your hard work can't. That's what matters." In just a few chaotic minutes, this tiny patch of dry ground became a sanctuary not just from the rain, but from the massive stress these girls were carrying. Then thunder cracks loud right over their heads, and they hear a desperate cry. A shared rescue mission. They look across the street, and it's bad. An elderly woman is trapped next to a broken cart, and the water is rising fast, rushing all around her. It is incredibly dangerous. And you know what? While the rest of the market is just staring or hiding, all 4 of these girls, Samina, Amina, Rabia, and Hadia, they literally just sprint out into the pouring rain together. It's like they've known each other for years. They instinctively work as a team. Rabia and Hadia muscle the broken cart, holding it steady against the rushing water. Amina carefully helps the older woman navigate through the flood. And right in the middle of this intense rescue,
a fifth girl pops into the picture.
From out of nowhere, this cheerful voice yells, "You girls forgot the umbrella!" Enter Sana. She's rocking these bright yellow rain boots, almost totally wiping out in a puddle as she runs over. She shoves the umbrella over the old woman, flashes this huge, beaming smile, and says, "There, now nobody's getting soaked today." Sana was exactly the missing puzzle piece they needed.
Once they get the woman to safety, she looks at the five of them, soaking wet and panting, and tells them, "You all helped without thinking of yourselves first. That is a beautiful thing." That single moment of gratitude, that was the glue. It locked these five total strangers together through this shared act of absolute selflessness.
The storm keeps raging, though, so they find shelter and share stories in a small nearby masjid.
They end up spending hours in there. The imam brings them warm tea, and as they sit listening to the rain tap on the windows, they just start talking. And it's wild how perfectly their personalities click. Samina, who is so worried about her grandma, has this massive heart for helping people. Amina is all about books and learning. Rabia is the brave, action-oriented one. Hadio is super passionate about her faith and Islamic studies. And Sana, with her yellow boots, she is the one who can make literally anyone laugh, no matter how bad things get. By the time the tea was gone, it felt like they were already lifelong friends.
Which leads us to the lasting impact of that crazy evening. The Crescent sisters begin.
Because from that night on, you literally couldn't separate them. The neighborhood started calling them the Crescent Sisters. They explored libraries together, they helped out their neighbors, they tackled local problems as a team, studied the Quran, and just went on all these amazing adventures. The whole thing was born right out of that chaotic storm.
As they were finally leaving the masjid that night, Hadia, the one whose notes got ruined, smiled and admitted the storm actually wasn't so bad after all. And Amina replied with this really beautiful thought. Maybe Allah writes friendships in strange ways. It's so true, right? Dropped coins, a broken banner, ruined paper, a flood. They were literally the exact ingredients needed for this incredible friendship. So, as we wrap up this story today, I want to leave you with something to think about. What chaotic storms in your own life have actually ended up secretly bringing you an unexpected blessing? It's funny how the things that feel totally disruptive in the moment are sometimes exactly what we need to find something or someone amazing. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this story. Try to look for those silver linings today, and I'll see you next time.